Hi there, Jamie with Yellow Barn Media. I wanted to talk to you today about how to start a YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to start by saying this. I have a YouTube channel. I actually have a couple. I have played around with them for about 15 years. I've never been like super serious about like, I'm going to do more video. But this year I am. So let me say this. I'm going to give you some tips that are very basic. But most of the people that I talk to, especially in the horse industry, I hear the same thing over and over. Jamie, I can't do video. I don't have a fancy camera. I'm scared to do video. Am I really qualified to do video? And all of these other things. So I took a few notes because I want to make sure that I'm able to give you just some basic information about how to start a YouTube channel. And then I will create a follow-up video with some of the more specifics as far as the showing you how to do it. I'll do a video tutorial where I walk you through YouTube and show you the actual nuts and bolts. But more important than the technology of how to actually walk through and do it, how to create your graphics, all of those things. More importantly, I want to touch on some of the things you need to do to prepare before you even think about it. Now, one of my favorite things in my life with my personality, and I know myself, is I want to just sometimes get things done. I don't want perfection to hold up progress. So there's that piece of it. And also, yes, do you always want to create the best digital marketing efforts that you can? Of course. Does it always require thousands of dollars of technology? No. You can always advance to that. And I'm in that court, if you will, okay? So I don't have a $1,000 camera right now, and I have made some promises to myself where when I make some certain milestones on my YouTube channel, I'll invest more into the business as far as lights and all of that. So I don't have perfect lighting. I don't have perfect sound, but what I will say is I'm making progress, okay? So a couple things before you even think about starting a YouTube channel is this. Is your audience there, okay? Is your audience on YouTube? Just because people are telling you to start an Instagram account or a Twitter account or a YouTube channel or a Pinterest board, all of those things, just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean it's right for your audience. Now, if you know your audience is on YouTube, YouTube and Google are friendly, so obviously it's good to create content. Anytime you're creating content, it's good. But YouTube is something that I find creating videos is something, especially in the horse industry, it's stressful for people. They're like, I just don't want to do video. I've had a few people tell me, well, I'm an old cowboy and no one wants to see this face. Well, if you are wise on certain topics and you have things to teach and impart into others, then I don't care what you look like. I don't care about all of those things, okay? I care about you making content for the people in your circle that want to learn from you. So a couple things, like I mentioned. I don't have perfect lighting. I don't have perfect sound. I'm using a very nice iPhone. It's not the newest one, but it's nice. It's an iPhone XS, I think. I do have some lights in here. As you can see, they're not set up perfectly right now. I'm working on renovating my office, so this is what it is. And I wanted to just start by getting on and making progress with my channel. So there's a few things I did want to impart and tell you that I hear often, and I don't want to forget to remind you about today. So one thing is this. Don't compare yourself to other people. And this goes for all aspects of your business. There are so many people in the marketing industry that are amazing at video. I mean, just amazing. So I'm not shy. I have no problem creating video, but I have a long way to go when I look at the people that are like, oh man, I want to create videos like that for my audience, and I want to do the outros and the intros and all of these like super awesome things. I want to get like the editing software. Actually, better yet, I want to hire someone to do all my edits. So there's all of these things. Where people get hung up and why they don't start something, even if it's not YouTube, it could be anything. You might not start because you're like, oh, am I good enough? Like imposter syndrome. Am I really that person that actually could do this? Or I'm an introvert, I don't like video, or I'm scared of video. Okay, there's a couple things. Guess what? You can practice on your phone. Do videos, practice with your lighting, practice with your audio. That's another thing. You want it to be quiet. You want to have some pretty good audio. If you screw up 100 times in a row, guess what? There's this thing called the delete button. Just delete it. Keep practicing until you get comfortable. Pick like 3 topics that you are just awesome at. You know, I was working with a lady last week and she mentioned to me that she is a doula. Okay, so basically like a midwife. They're usually like behind the scenes kind of people. That's their nature. Most of the doulas I've met are like these quiet, wonderful, like church mouse kind of women. And they're just extraordinary people. And she's like, I don't want to do video. Like, that's not my thing. And I'm like, I know. But can you talk about 3 topics for like 10 minutes each and just be the expert? And she's like, oh yeah, I've been doing this a long time. And I'm like, all right, well, you need to do video then. So you may not, I am not at the point where I want to be, but we're all growing, right? So don't get imposter syndrome. Don't be afraid of, don't compare yourself to someone else. You are good enough to do this. If you are an expert in your field, and that doesn't mean you have a gajillion followers, it means, do you have an audience that wants to hear what you have to say? Okay. And I'm sure if you're watching this, you do. It doesn't matter if it's small. Okay. And I mentioned practice, just practice, and delete them all. If they're not good, delete them. Just keep going. You don't have to worry about getting a fancy editing software. It's better for you to get your content out to your audience with decent lighting and decent sound and work your way up. Okay. If you watch YouTube videos, write down things that you like about the videos. Why do you watch the videos of certain people? What about the video drew you in? Okay. A lot of times it has to do with the title and the description. So even if you created a really good video, when you upload it to YouTube, if you don't have a good, catchy title and description, that's going to hurt you a little. So you want to think about like, what will be good for SEO, which is search engine optimization. So when someone Googles what you're going to talk about, what is it that they're going to Google? It may not be actually the topic what you're talking about. It might be, I have this problem. And the title of your YouTube channel may be the solution, okay? So let's see. Make each second count. That was the other thing I wrote. I am a talker. I know typically what works for my audience. So sometimes I'll stop from time to time and share stories. If you're just trying to do like excuse me, if you're doing a how-to video and you're showing someone how to walk through and maybe create a graphic, let's say, or do something, make that very efficient and quick because it's a tutorial. If you're doing a tutorial, people don't want a bunch of fluff. They want to know, how do I go from A to Z and do this one thing? But for me, I am kind of a storyteller. So, but do think about what you're going to talk about. Does fluff or stories or encouragement fit within that? And if so, that's fine, because if you know your audience, you'll know what to give them. Let's see. And yeah, I just did have a note. Again, I mentioned don't obsess about your equipment. If I could show you right now what my office looked like, my office is my office/toy room. I have lights, this camera, and my chair in a little tiny corner until the rest of it gets cleaned up. So don't wait for the perfect time, the perfect circumstance. Just make sure you have decent lighting and it's quiet. Let's see. The other thing is be consistent. Stick to it and say, okay, I'm going to do, even if you start and you're like, I'm doing 1 video a month. I'm doing 1 video a month for this entire year. If that's all you can commit to, do it and do it well. I am hoping to do 1 a week because I know that I can. And I might as well put makeup on once a week, right? I think it's time. It's 2021. It's a new year. I might as well doll myself up for a day and do some videos for my audience. So I think those are the main things. I also mentioned the video, the title and the description. And I will have some other resources coming. But mainly I just wanted to challenge you to think about why you want to start a channel. Does your audience live there? Will they watch your videos? And I think we all have enough people, fish in the sea, if you will, as far as customers, that our current audience will go there and watch our videos, but also we will find a new audience because we will write good titles, good descriptions, and that will help our SEO as well. So our search engine optimization. So I hope this is encouraging for you to know that you just need to start where you are. I hope in a year my videos are like way sharper and way better. But for now, here's the thing. I'm starting. I'm connecting with my audience, and that is my main goal. So I hope you have a fantastic day. If you're watching this day, night, whatever day it is, it's a happy new year. It's just the beginning of January for me while I'm recording this. But I hope all is well. Comment below if you have any questions or this was helpful to you. Share it with a friend if you're like, oh, so-and-so needs this. And I'd be happy to connect with you. Have a good one.